If you have any question, just interrupt me. Our presentation will be focused on some case studies of several. I said typical mistakes. In fact, they're typical input which are not perfect and which improvement can be made upon. The example cited from our actual inputs by our colleagues. The first one, the font in the initial description box is different from that entered in the memo box. For example, we have Times New Roman for conference call with John Smith and Ian Murdoch, and we have Arial on Coca-Cola's website. This makes the description a very casual looking one. And the solution would be very easy to check. And second is about protection of confidential information in the description. Our example is, I told him to settle, but he said $30,000 too little. This is disclosure of the condition of settlement, which is not appropriate to appear in entries which accounting people can see. So we can use an alternative, which we can use general descriptions instead of that very specific ones. Without disclosing the amount, we can say, regarding possible settlement conditions, of which case, including the minimum settlement amount acceptable. With this description, our efforts also look very specific and concrete, but no information has been disclosed. Another mistake I would say out of this example is that it used a very casual style of input. It used I told him, I tried to persuade him, I think. This is not very good for input. I would recommend a structure of verb plus object and plus which subject matter and objective style, like what we said, conference call with whom, regarding which. Example 3, photocopying 30 copies of the prospectus for client. With this, we charge, if it's paralegal doing this, then we'll charge 63 euros. If an attorney is doing this, then we charge 125 euros. Obviously, client will find it very difficult to hire professionals to do those tasks, which almost no professional skill or knowledge is required. But sometimes we just cannot avoid doing those kind of routine tasks, because it's more difficult maybe to tell a secretary to do that and to ensure the quality. When coping with this kind of situations, we can say, prepare some documents instead of photocopying. Our solution recommended would be prepare copies of prospectus for client, for which matter. And this sounds a little bit ambiguous. Maybe we are preparing something substantive instead of photocopying simply. The fourth example, spelling mistakes. I think this should be self-explanatory. We just check and make sure it is decent and presentable according to law standard. The fifth one, charging for preparation of engagement and retainer letters. Although it's better we can all our time spent for a specific client is charged, but sometimes clients will find it really difficult to pay for something pre-contract. Imagine if you are the client, what would you do? Whether an effort should be billable or not. I do receive a complaint by a client for billing 0.2 hours for reviewing an email which has contained both an engagement letter and another substantive issue, although I billed only 0.2 hours, and although the effort does include a substantive one, which is to give some advice, a simple advice on a small matter. He complained because it also included review of engagement letter. So we must be very prudent when we charge for such time. Also, try to find out a way which is acceptable to you if you are the client. A last example, when we are doing general office work, maybe we will, personally, I myself hate to input on the Billquick. It costs too much time for me. Maybe when we say this is not billable and doesn't have to be presented to client, then we just say 8 hours general office administration work. But please remember, your supervisors and boss also need to know, and they have right to know what you have actually do within this 8 hours in a day. Administrative work is not that specific and descriptive. Then we can say what actually we done, like check emails, we study, we do some legal research and discussion with a friend, with colleagues, etc. And those finished my case study, and I think I would like to reiterate the real tip I would recommend in making those descriptions. Take a reader-oriented attitude. If honestly you feel such an entry is acceptable to you, then I'm sure you can make it in that way. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention and time. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you. If not, then I'd like to thank Eldo, who has kindly helped me prepare this wonderful presentation. I know in this time, I think the format is much better than the content.
No,
thank you so much.
You're a good speaker.
Thank you. If you need that comprehensive description prepared by the firm, please come to me.